Recording in progress.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I decided I'm going to bring through an oracle message for us today, and I'm going to allow it to be more in my current style, which is tuning into the non-ordinary realm and to the shamanic realm. In many ways, I have been developing my practice, and so I started this YouTube, the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate, if this is your first time. So I started this YouTube. You can scroll way back. I like don't want you to, and also you can have a laugh. It's cool. It's fine. There's nothing like crazy embarrassing. It's not like I was using this in high school or something, but even then I was pretty boring. I probably wouldn't have even had a very interesting YouTube. But if you scroll all the way back, you'll see that like I started this YouTube in my parents' backyard shed in the early stages of the pandemic because I knew that I still wanted to be offering healing work, even though I wasn't legally allowed to be opening up my shop again. And it was really sad. It was a really challenging time because I had to just go in and admit that, it's going to change totally how I had to work in healing. And I think it's been the most beautiful blessing now that I see it today in this context. How much I've been able to grow into in my intuition, my spiritual practices, because I wasn't stuck in doing bodywork services. However, you can scroll back all the way and see that I started with oracle readings with oracle cards, and I still love oracle cards. I have an oracle deck right beside my desk as we speak. And I'm creating an oracle deck, so I absolutely believe in them. I find a lot of value in them. But I've also felt a little bit like, I don't tend to use oracle cards as often. Every now and then I will when I'm working with a client, but I would say it's not as often as I used to. And so I'd like to bring to a message more so in the way that I'm familiar with, which is just knowing and feeling and talking to you about what I know and feel. So here we go. And I have a cacao with me, so if you want to get cozy, I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. I'm just going to be here until it feels like the message is out. I was getting this sensation today that someone is like blocking their intuition, like something is trying to knock on their door of the temple of their mind. Someone is trying to knock on their door, and they're like putting up a do not disturb sign, but it's like kind of a little too late. Like we can see that you're in the house. So for you to pop out or in the room, if it's a hotel, do not disturb, right? We can see that you're in the room because you literally just exited the room to put the sign on and then went back. So how rude is that? And the feeling of like dismissing spirit is like dismissing a solid good friend who's there to support you. And so you can tell yourself, whatever you want on your journey as to why you're avoiding what it is you're feeling and sensing and knowing. And you can come up with a lot of like physical reality, 3D reality. I'm going to call them excuses. I know it's harsh, but I'm going to call them excuses. You can come up with a lot of 3D reality excuses as to why you're not trusting your intuition. But the truth is, Spirit already saw you. Spirit was coming to your door, saw you put the do not disturb on, and is like, all right, I'll wait it out then, I guess. Which is really funny to think that you're just like sitting there on the other side of the room, what, you're going to just sit there all day? What do you think you're going to do? Right? And this person at your door, it's not like a regular cleaning lady who's like, okay, I'll just come back another time. It's like, hey, I've actually got a delivery for you. I have a message for you, and the package for Spirit, from Spirit, it's for and from. The package from Spirit. Let me see what happens here. I kind of love this. Often, like, visions show up as little stories and nuggets and scenes, and I do think it's kind of charming. Owl symbolism, if anyone is needing owl love. We've also got rabbits in the back here. Super cute little rabbits. The package from Spirit. Okay, so what's unfolding? It was like a very large package, and it was also soft. So it looked like a large I almost thought it was a box, but it was way not sharp enough. It was like more like wrapped in brown paper, kind of more lumpy. And it had a tag on it that when I envision it, it reminds me of tags that my mom make for Christmas. So they're like little brown paper tags, and she'll do calligraphy, and it said "From Spirit," and it has little twine on it, and she's very Martha Stewart, so it has this beautiful little craft kind of paper vibe. And as I ripped this open, it was like a massive cloak and robe tumbled out of it. And so Spirit is waiting to like adorn you with a cloak, a protection, but also a recognition of your identity, of who you are. It's like the cloak of a mystic and of someone who walks with Spirit, knowing that this is of your highest order. So it's not to say that you give your power over, but it's almost that the voice that comes through you is more connected by Spirit than of many around you. Not of everyone. I think you'll know some people who speak in this way. So if you do, definitely reflect on how that makes you feel. If it helps awaken something in you to be around others who are speaking from the heart and speaking with Spirit, then perhaps that's a part of you itching, that's calling out to join and to join the group of people in the world who are speaking from their heart, their spirit, their intuition, whatever sense you feel. Okay, and so to clasp these, like the cloak together, there's like a little thing at the neck, and it's like a little chain. And it's two little dolphins, so dolphin imagery, if that's coming up for anyone. And what I'm sensing with the dolphins is I'm just getting taken on another journey here, which is like they're dipping, and you know how dolphins like jump and play. They're doing this thing where they're jumping and playing into a dimension of reality. So it's like they're going into this ocean sphere that kind of starts to feel like not our world, okay? So just go with me here, because it's like starting in our oceans, and then it's sort of going into an ocean that isn't quite ours. And this non-ordinary ocean is like opalescent, like rainbowish. It's sort of iridescent on the surface, so you're seeing all these little rainbow flickers of light, almost like those prisms that you get in the windows. It's like dancing like that on the light. And so it's awakening to your multidimensionality. So if anyone has been waiting to feel connected to light beings, star beings, or you might identify it as aliens, or even alternate timelines. Oh, I'm raising my hand. Alternate timelines or different versions of you in that way. This cloak and this gift waiting on the other side of the door is exactly that. So I kind of want to ask, like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of when it comes to trusting spiritual connection, diving further into it, being curious about what that looks like? What is it that's holding you back, truly? If you actually sit with it, is there a fear, or is it like fear of your own expansion, like a hesitation for what that's going to bring? And speaking from the other side of, if you see the like Alice in Wonderland, like speaking from the other side, or Narnia, the other side of the wardrobe, it really is expansive, and it can be uncomfortable, and it can even feel dangerous. But I would say largely it feels way better. Largely it feels much, much, much clearer and much more expansive to go to the other side, to allow yourself to dip the toe in, staying here as well. We certainly don't want to be flying out into non-ordinary space with no return. That's a story for another day, but it feels like there's so much that is like here and waiting for you. And so I'm wondering why the person who I'm speaking to, who's resonating with this reading today, if there's an area of life, or if it's a lot of different areas of your life, and you are hesitating to acknowledge spirit connection, spirit support, or guidance that you've received, why? Like, what exactly feels more comfortable here than over there? Because usually when we explore more, we actually do feel much more like ourselves. When we expand and open up to who we are at our core, which is a spirit. There are many, many, many different ways to live this life. But if you're here, you acknowledge that you've got a spirit. And so following the call of that spirit feels like of utmost importance, like beyond so many of these other constructs. And you will actually likely be safer and more protected in the end, and have more positive emotions and more full emotional expression, more creative expression in your life when you are on this track and feeling aligned. So what's the limitation? And if you want to share the limitation below, I'm happy to tune in for a moment here or there on some of the comments on what exactly do you feel is holding you back right now. Whatever is holding you back, chances are it is a construct, a condition, and something that has been made up and is not of your spiritual mission. And I know it's really easy to find these reasons to avoid the the weird, wonderful other side of this door. But if you knew that on the other side of this door, there was this majestic and bold, powerful identity of you that felt way more like you than any other you that you've experienced in your life so far, you tell me what's stopping you from unlocking that door, removing the do not disturb sign, and saying, come on in, or hey, I'm heads out, I'm going with you. I'm putting on this cloak, let's go on an adventure. I'm getting like a Lord of the Rings Hobbit reference, so if you really like Lord of the Rings, A, join the club, B, this message is totally for you. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I will share more oracle messages here and there as we go. Just want to keep exploring the different ways that this intuitive side is wanting to be shared and shown to you, as well as diving more into some deeper ideas, more formal chats where I actually come in with a planned subject, but this is one of those channeled oracle messages. So if you didn't resonate with this, then just leave it where it was. Be like, okay, that wasn't for me, and carry on, do your thing, boo. And if you did resonate, please like and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and maybe leave a comment, because it really does help a lot. Like, people really underestimate the amount that can support other people also seeing the message. So yeah. And if you're watching this in real time, by the way, it's Black Friday weekend, and December 1st, my prices are getting raised because I have really not raised them the way that I need to for where I'm at and where this work is at. And yeah, so it's about time. And so I'm raising them on Monday. However, I recognize that I do really like to feel accessible to others. It's part of the reason I do YouTube videos as well. So 50% off all of my current pricing. So that's like the lowest it will ever be, because even if I were to offer any type of discount or major deal in the future on these newer prices, it'll be higher. So 50% off my current pricing all weekend, and you can just type the code Black Friday 50, and that's on any of my sessions. So throughout November, I've been offering 50% off the Intuitive Oracle time because I knew I was raising the prices on those, and then it was like very clear. I had a little bit of sit down with my spirit team, and they were like, you're actually needing all across the board for these to be matching the actual value that you're giving, and that the people are getting out of it as well. And I'm hearing it from a lot of the clients that I've worked with, especially over the last few months, that they are absolutely getting the value and more. And so, we've got to choose to go accordingly. I really believe that oracles and healing practitioners and spiritual guides who are deep in their work and practicing in a way that is quite layered and multidimensional, we require extra support to be able to live in the world, and treat this as our work, of course, right? And so the only way that we can do that, and the only way I'll be able to continue trusting the visions meant for me, is by making choices like this that allow for, greater transformation for all of us, truly. And to stand by the value that oracles give to the world. So that's part of this mission. And I have a free psychopomp circle on December 4th, so you can go check that out as well. So I will be offering here and there, accessible pricing, as far as if you're someone who's like panicked because you think, oh my gosh, I really want to work with her. Well, go get a 50% off session and just bite the bullet, open the door, take that do not disturb off, and we'll, maybe I'll have a cloak for you, metaphorically. So next Thursday, December 4th, is the free psychopomp circle where we are going to meet together. I'm going to do a little bit of a teaching and introduction, so you don't have to come with any experience or prior knowledge. And then I will be guiding us through ceremony, and we will journey as a group together to help guide souls from the other side over to the light. So it's like we're going into the middle world in between place. I always suggest that if you're doing middle world things, that you have friends and support, that you have guidance, that you have teachers, very much like Middle Earth. I'm making lots of Lord of the Rings references in my mind here. So it is like that. It's like bring a friend. And so that free psychopomp circle is on my website. The one-to-one sessions are on my website as well. 50% off for this weekend if you type in the code Black Friday 50. So Black Friday 50 is the coupon code for 50% off any one-to-one sessions with me before the prices get raised. And I'm really excited for 2026. I've got retreats on the docket. We've got Oracle Fest online, the biggest Oracle Fest online ever, because it's the second one, and I definitely sense that it's going to be bigger. So I hope that you join us. It's going to be 4 days, so already it's bigger on that. We had 28 speakers last year. We're going to have 44 speakers this year. We have panel discussions and sound healings, and we have activations and ceremonies and live readings from multiple speakers at a time, reflections, integration practices. There's going to be so much there. So I look forward to sharing all of this stuff with you. I'm also going to chat a little bit about business. I do have a spirit-led business mentorship group, so maybe I'll do that in a little bit. And I'll share a little bit about business and walking with a spirit-led business, and I hope to welcome a few more people into that group. I do keep it intimate, and it is a sliding scale, so this is also I would say, extremely reasonable way of working with me as far as finances are concerned. And if you are a business owner, or if you're a newer business owner in spiritual work, or you're wanting to be, this is a really great community and place that has gotten started. There are 5 of us in the group, and so I have room for like 3 more people at the moment. I don't like to expand it too quickly. We meet twice a week. So we meet twice a week, but I'll tell you more about that later, so do stay tuned if you are interested in perhaps doing some of this work for yourself, or working with me for your business that you already have, regardless of if it is spiritual. As long as you are guided by spirit, you would belong in that group, and I would be happy to help you with any of the intuitive expertise and also years of experience in helping with online businesses and also running my own, so that it feels authentic to you. It feels like it gives you what you need as you go, as mine has, amazingly over the years. When I'm in my path where it feels like this is really the work I'm meant to do, it goes super smoothly and easily. When you're going against the grain, it feels like you're, coming up to the walls, or it feels like walls get closing in. So I'd love to help you with busting through them walls. And I will see you all later. So thank you for being here. And again, if you've just been a part of this journey, I just want to appreciate you for being a part of it so far. Watching me over the years, lurking, if you are lurking. I think that this Black Friday 50 coupon is a really great thing for if you've been a lurker and you're like, oh, maybe one day I'll do work with her. Like, I don't really know what you're waiting for. Maybe this message that I was just sharing is like for you. So anyways, encouraging you all to take one brave action, whether it's doing something in this realm, or just telling someone how you feel today, or it's, taking a step on a fitness or health journey, whatever it is for you. I'm just encouraging you to live by what your heart and spirit want most for you, and enjoy the rest of your day.